What's up, everybody? It's Prashant here. Welcome to my YouTube channel and thank you for joining me today. A few days ago, I was looking for a mattress online. I've never purchased a mattress online before, and I was pretty interested to see how the experience goes. So I went to purple.com and started shopping. Let me show you what I saw. Alright, so let's go to purple.com, typing that in right now. Let's see. Okay, mattresses. Let's see here, scroll down. Let's say we want to go with this purple mattress. Starts from $6.99. Whoop! Oh, all the way up to $12.99 all of a sudden. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but let's ignore that for a bit. Keep going down, keep going down. So we see here it says Affirm monthly payments as low as 0% APR financing and Splitit monthly payments using a credit card at 0% interest. Oh, wrong click there. Let's see, I'm adding the items to cart. 2 items. I thought I only had 1 item, but okay, whatever. All right, let's click on learn more here. Okay, so Affirm plus Purple, buy now, pay later. Rates from 0 to 30% APR, quick and easy, no hidden fees, no upfront what you'll pay. A button that says see if you qualify. Okay, so here's an example. A $1,000 purchase might cost $83.34 per month over 12 months at 0% APR, blah, 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 blah. Payment options through Affirm are provided by these lending partners. Affirm.com/lenders. So I went to the website they called out, affirm.com/lenders, and we can see here that Affirm is giving loans by Cross River Bank, Celtic Bank, and Affirm Loan Services LLC. I've never heard of the first 2 banks, and obviously the last one is Affirm's in-house loan service. It doesn't matter. So what's Affirm? Guys, before we continue with this video, I want to take a second to ask you to smash the like button and the subscribe button for the YouTube algorithm, and click the bell icon to be notified instantly when I post a new video. That being said, let's get back to it. Affirm and a few other companies like it, like Afterpay, Splitit, and now even Mastercard, are offering finances to people who are buying smaller things such as clothes or small appliances. The service that is being offered is called Buy Now, Pay Later, or BNPL. It's a pretty simple service. It's just that you buy something today and you pay for it later over the next few months or so. Sounds familiar, right? Sounds like a credit card. Well, that's what I thought. So I went to Affirm's website and here's what I found. Let's see here. Why Affirm? We started Affirm because credit cards aren't working. They lure us in with perks but end up costing a lot. The average US household has $6,000 in credit card debt. Okay, here's what they're saying. We all know credit cards charge very high rates of interest. So does Affirm. They say it right on their website. They can charge anywhere from 0% to 30% interest based on your credit score, size of loan, etc. The difference, according to them, is transparency. You see, credit card companies have a minimum payment system. As long as you make the minimum payment, they don't bother you. Usually the minimum payment is a very small amount, say $25 or $35. At least that's what it is for me. In fact, it is in the credit card company's best interest for the customer to keep making only the minimum payment. As long as you're making just the minimum payment, the interest you owe keeps growing. At the end of the day, by the time you're done paying off what you originally borrowed, you end up paying an exorbitant amount of money. What they're saying is, you tell them how much money you want to borrow, and they will tell you how much interest they're going to charge. They're going to tell you what your monthly payment will be and how much your total interest will be by the time the loan is ended. This is actually no different than a mortgage or an auto loan. Typically, the loan originator, usually a bank, will tell you exactly how much interest you'll be paying, what your monthly payment will be, what your total amount that you end up paying will be at the end of the loan as well. And if you like it, you accept the loan. If you don't like it, you decline the loan. It's pretty simple. The second thing that Affirm is saying is that they're going to charge you simple interest instead of compound interest. So I think this is a pretty good deal for the consumer. As long as you know what you're getting into and you can make the monthly payment, you should be okay. In fact, Affirm even has a loan calculator on their website. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so here's the calculator. I'm going to slide this slider to the right to get to $1,000 because let's say that's how much money I want to borrow. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Oh, too far. Let's go back to $1,000. There we go. All right. If we scroll right to the bottom, we see that this is based on 15% APR. All right. Now to the top, we see 3 monthly payments will make $25.67 total interest. Payment will be $341.89. If we go to 6 monthly payments, we see that the total interest paid will be $44.48 for a monthly payment of $174.08 for total cost of $104.48. And for 12 monthly payments, total interest is $83.60 and a monthly payment of $90.30. Total cost $1,083.60. To be honest with you, I think this is a pretty straightforward, easy to understand deal for consumers. And Affirm is adding retailing partners every week. So their Affirm button is going to start showing up on more and more e-commerce websites. And as it gets integrated and people get used to it, they're going to start using it a little bit more. What Affirm also does is that if you are shopping on a website that does not have the Affirm button, you can actually go to the Affirm website, tell them how much you want to borrow, get a loan, and then they will give you a single time virtual credit card number, and you can use that number to buy whatever it is that you want to buy. This is brilliant. It is an extra step, but hey, if you've got a loyal customer, they will do that work, and then Affirm does not have to go and sign up with millions and millions of e-retailers. Now let's jump over to the business side. I really want to understand how this business is working out for Affirm. So I wanted to see if I could get my hands on some financial data. Lucky for me, Affirm went public earlier this year, so we have some public financial data. So let's pull up this report. Okay, here we have their quarterly earnings report from April to June of 2021. Let's look at the operating highlights they're showing here first. Gross merchandise volume, GMV, for the fourth quarter of fiscal year 2021 was $2.5 billion. An increase of 106% or 178% excluding Peloton. GMV for fiscal year 2021 was $8.3 billion, an increase of 79% or 91% excluding Peloton. Clearly, they're doing a lot of business through Peloton. Basically, a lot of people are buying Peloton bikes using Affirm. Moving on, we see that active merchants grew by 412% to nearly 29,000 for the fourth quarter of fiscal 2021, including several thousand newly integrated Shopify merchants. I think this is really smart. A lot of small retailers use the Shopify platform to sell their merchandise. And as Affirm is going to get these people integrated into their system, the number of merchants they have that accept Affirm will grow very, very quickly. Next, we see that active consumers grew 97% to 7.1 million people. That's a lot of people. Transactions per active consumer increased 8% to approximately 2.3 as of June 30th, 2021. So what this means is that each person who's signed up with Affirm has taken 2.3 loans or has paid for 2.3 transactions using the Affirm platform. What this is really showing us is that they have some repeat customer traffic, which is really good news for Affirm. Let's now jump to page 4 and look at the financials here. Gross merchandise value is $2.5 billion in the last quarter of 2021 compared to just $1.2 billion in 2020. Now what we should remember is this is not the total revenue for Affirm. This is just the total value of all the merchandise that was sold using Affirm's services. Affirm's revenue was just $261 million in 2021 compared to $152 million in 2020. Transaction costs jumped up from $46 million in 2020 to $114 million this year. This makes sense. As their revenue grows, their transaction costs will grow with that. If we look at the operating loss or income, we see that Affirm went from a profit of $39.3 million in 2020 to a loss of $124 million in 2021. And looking at net loss or income, we see that they went from a profit of $34.8 million in 2020 to a loss of $128 million in 2021. So this is pretty curious. They went from being a profit-making company pre-IPO to a loss-making company after going public. I want to dig into this a little bit further. Let's jump to page 11. All companies like to hide their dirty laundry in the consolidated financial statements. Let's look there. So here we are comparing the last 3 months of fiscal year 2020 versus the last 3 months of 2021. Total net revenues increased from $153 million to $261 million, as we saw above, about 1.7x. Going through the operating expenses, the first 3 expenses look normal, with an increase of 1.5x to 2x for most of them. When we get to the general and administrative expenses, we see that they have gone from $31 million to $137 million, about 4.5x. What happened there? This just tells me that Affirm massively grew its expenses for things like rent, insurance, and most importantly, payroll. Just look at the insane number of open positions at Affirm. Adding all these people adds a lot of payroll and benefits expenses, especially for a fintech type company who's probably going to be looking for highly skilled employees and will have to pay top dollar for them in today's tight labor market. Hopefully, Affirm can get to an appropriate level of staffing as they're growing and then plateau that out once they've scaled up. Now, what do I think of a company like Affirm? Well, consider this. Affirm and Amazon have just announced a partnership. This means that Affirm is going to get integrated to Amazon's platform. Already, this is in beta testing and some users are already seeing the Affirm button on their Amazon homepage. Now let's listen to a clip from an interview that the CEO of Affirm, Max Levchin, did with NPR. Max Levchin, by the way, is also a co-founder of PayPal from back in the day. And he also went to the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, which is also my alma mater.
We just surveyed sort of standard American Gen Pop. It's about 50% of the people who plan to use a product like Affirm for their holiday shopping. So the awareness is going up quite significantly.
As we just heard, 50% of Americans surveyed said they're planning on using a service like Affirm to do their holiday shopping. According to the National Retailer Foundation, holiday shopping in 2020 was worth $789 billion. Of that, $209 billion was online. So if 50% of this shopping is done using a buy now, pay later platform, this could be a potential market of $100 billion. Depending on how thick a slice of this $100 billion a firm can take, they could be well on their way to profitability, as long as they get their G&A spending under control. Look, I think the buy now, pay later trend is here to stay. Americans are addicted to debt. And if you make it easy and you put the Affirm button right next to the checkout button on Amazon, then boom, you've got them. I think services like Affirm are going to be very, very attractive to people who do not like credit cards. Maybe it's because the interest rates are too high. Maybe they've been burned in the past. Maybe it's because their contracts are very tough to understand. Well, Affirm is providing an alternative. It's supposedly simple to understand, it's very upfront, and it's very transparent. I think for people who do not like credit cards, this BNPL model can be a very, very attractive thing, especially with the holiday shopping season right around the corner. Before I end this video, let us take a look at the stock price of Affirm. So it got listed in January for $49, okay? Shot up all the way to $139 right after listing, then dumped, which is becoming typical of anything fintech these days, all the way down to the $54 mark. Then traded sideways in the mid-60s till about mid-August when it started gathering steam again, pushing all the way up to even $123 and now trading around that $120 mark. Now here's the thing. If the holiday shopping season is as robust as analysts are predicting, and if Affirm is able to finish their Amazon rollout and add a few other big merchants by then, I think they have something on their hands. Sure, they have some competition and they need to differentiate themselves and fight some of that competition off. Maybe if they can get some exclusivity deals with retailers like Amazon and Walmart, they're going for the big leagues. I'm excited for this company and I might even consider using their services, but only if I get 0% financing. I typically don't buy consumer goods that I cannot afford to pay off in full. I always use a credit card to purchase them for the points, but I always pay it off in full. I never carry a balance. But I could be tempted to use it on a larger purchase, such as a mattress or something, and then using the cash that I would have used to pay the credit card bill at the end of the month to invest in stocks or something. So that's all I have for you guys in today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please go ahead and smash the like button and the subscribe button for the YouTube algorithm and click the bell icon to be notified instantly when I post a new video. I post at least one new video every week with great new financial content, and I would love to see you back here on this channel. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.